Red tide is officially known as harmful algal blooms, and they periodically occur in oceans. Right now, the west coast of Florida is taking a hit. This beachgoer told WINK.
I was stunned when I saw this. We saw some big fish this morning, but this is incredible. There's no words for it.
Dead fish of all sizes washed onto the shore with the tides. The harmful algae in the Gulf of Mexico waters off of Florida is called Carina brevis. It causes oxygen levels in the water to drop greatly, killing marine life.
There's just thousands of dead fish. It's terrible.
I've experienced red tide. This year it's stronger. People have coughs.
Particles of Carina brevis toxins release into the air when thrashed around by ocean waves. For some people, that can cause coughing and sore throats when it's breathed in. Humans don't cause red tide, but they can make it worse. Red tides occur naturally, but rising air and ocean temperatures could mean the harmful algal blooms are larger and more frequent.
Welcome back to Seed Time and Harvest. We're at Sister Michelle's house and we're going to get her garden in. Sister Michelle got her garden started. The last time we were here it was wood beds, and now she has put in some blocks and she turned in some soil. As you can see along the line, we have more soil to turn in, the peat moss, the compost, and the perlite. And Sister Michelle started her plants with the trays. She tried, which is good. That's excellent. In these trays, we have lettuce, garlic, lots of beets, eggplants, peppers, radish. We have some carrots. These are cantaloupes. Over here, we have green onions, more peppers, more beets, just more of the same thing. And we have squash. We have more mature peppers and zucchini. And then we have some figs, tomatoes, and 2 oranges that we're gonna put in. And then she's gonna start some more plants and get them in the garden at a later time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mound up different sections of the bed. And then we're gonna add perlite and peat moss to it and some compost so we can loosen the soil. The peat moss is gonna do a good job at loosening up the soil. It's a wonderful soil conditioner so that it's easier to work. It's not going to be as compact, so that the roots will be able to go through the soil a lot easier. We're going to make several mounds, and then that's what we're going to do with the rest of the bed. Brother Earl and Jose just went to pick up this bag of perlite at Ace. This is a 4 cubic feet bag. We're just going to add it to the rest of the soil with some more peat moss and then keep turning it. All right, so they started some compost, as you can see here. It's over here. We have a lot of food scraps that we're gonna put in the bottom of the bed. Now, because this is all fruits and vegetables, and it's been there for a while, it smells. So, of course, when things start to break down, we're gonna put it in the bottom of the bed. Now, this is gonna break down and add nitrogen. This is a whole lot of nitrogen. But to make compost, you need nitrogen and carbon, which is your brown. And then the soil, a little bit of soil to loosen it up so that it don't just create a sludge, but it creates dirt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make tunnel throughout the garden, and then we're gonna bury it so that the animals won't smell it to come in and dig up the garden. If you have kitchen scraps that you've been saving to put in your garden, this is how you would do it. Now, anything that has seeds, like really your orange peels, if they have seeds, of course you're gonna have orange growing, so this is a good way to start plants. But you would just dig the hole in the garden, and then you bury it over, okay? And that will it will hide the scent, and then the raccoons won't dig up the garden to look for it. In this garden bed, it was very compacted, so we added perlite, we added some peat moss, some kitchen scraps, and compost. soil. We turned that in and it's a lot lighter. And then we took out some of the weeds that were there. So now I'm just gonna level it out to get ready to be planted. We have some fertilizer, but we're gonna add it in the individual holes that we're planting instead of just spreading it through the entire bed. If you have green onions at home that you purchase from the store, more than likely they'll come with the roots. Now, many people will cut off the roots and throw them out. What Sister Michelle has done is she's cut off the top, used the top of the scallion, and she saved the roots, and her roots have started to sprout. As you can see here, this is a green onion that she used the top. The root is starting to sprout. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna replant this so she can get a green onion, another green onion harvest, and then she can keep cutting it to get more green onions. So we're gonna plant these in the blocks all around the bed. Not only will it give her more produce, but it will be a good line of defense against bugs, since that green onion have that smell that aphids do not like. Sister Michelle started her own greenhouse kit on, I can see the date, March 14th of 2022. This is a list of all the things that she planted in this tray. A lot of them grow. They sprouted, but apparently the bin was not getting enough sunlight. Right, Sister Michelle?
Yes.
So they didn't grow as sturdy as they would normally be. Now this is a good example of sprouting to eat sprouts, because that's what they look like.
Sister Michelle's good at sprouting.
She's very good at sprouting to eat. So these are excellent for sprouting to eat, but we want a sprout to grow. So when you start your greenhouse kit, it needs more sunlight so that the stem can be more hard and sturdy. Okay, but we're gonna try to plant out as many of these as we can. I'm going to plant them just in line as she has them. And the reason why I'm using this spot, as you can see, it's midday and this is getting some shade. So this is a good area to plant these veggies, since they are tender veggies. It's getting warm, and these are mostly like bok choy and kale. So I'm gonna plant these along this area. I like to pull off the fabric from around it, so you don't really have to. And then this is 3 plants. I'm gonna try to get 2 out of it, because I noticed one of them, the stem is very, very fragile. So this one may not make it. But these 2, when you separate it, try to get a little of as much of the root as you possibly can. And since they're so white, I'm gonna put them in deep.
Okay.
Okay. And give it some space. Then you just stick them in. And I'll let you do this one. This one is just 1, so you don't have to separate it.
Okay. So
can
just put the full thing in?
Put the full thing in, yep. And we're
Cover
just gonna,
to the top?
yes. Plant it a little bit deeper.
Is that enough?
Mm-hmm. There you go. And then we're gonna keep going down the line. Same amount of spacing, about 6 inches. A little bit deep, so the stem can be covered. And these are the white, short bok choy. When you're transplanting, you always transplant the healthiest. One of this probably won't make it, so we'll just plant them together. You can see the stem, and this one looks like it's really fragile. So we're not even gonna worry with that one. Well, when you start beets, you can, one beet seed is a cluster of seeds. So when you sprout 1 seed, you'll get like 3 or 4 plants. But how I do it, because
How far do you need to space them out?
beets, they support each other to make the leaves grow up. So about 2-3 inches apart. And I just mix them in. You don't really have to space beets because they grow bunched. Then when you harvest the bigger ones, and the smaller ones will be able to grow. It's always best to space them out. You get bigger roots. Give the roots more space to grow.
So Sister Sharice, is it 1 per?
Per hole,
Okay.
yes. 1 beet per hole. And the thing with beets is beets love water. They need a lot of water. So we're putting them in this bed with all the things that need water, like the grains, the lettuce. So the beet bed cannot stay dry.